and Drumbradford, who, like, have uncharacteristically for them, have hit difficult times. Now they won the 2 games, and suddenly before the break they had 4 points, which was more than they had in the entire campaign last year. Now people were dubious about whether they could pick it up when they came back after the break, and they certainly did, in victories over the Piershick and St. Kieran's, and then over Newcastle West, and it gave them a ticket straight to the semi-final. And here in the semi-final, here in the Gaelic grounds, you will recall we were covering it. It was they were quite poor in the first half. It looked as if they had some rustiness because of the layoff. But in the second half, I think they were awesome, and they were full value for their 2 goals victory. So it's really delicately set up. Now Johnny Murphy has started the game, and there seems to be changes already. Josh Ryan, who was named as centre forward, seems to be starting at midfield for the throw-in anyway. Likewise, Mike McMahon, who was named at full forward, but maybe it's only for the throw-in. He was in for the throw-in, but he seems to be going back up into his nominated position now. But it's Newcastle West in possession and in the early stages around midfield.
Ian Corbett leaves it off to Sean Murphy, and it's a chance now for Newcastle West to build with Brian Hurley. Of course, many of these Newcastle West players were unsuccessful to keep their bid for 3 in a row going last week, at 3 in a row, I should say, between the Camogie Intermediate Hurling Final and, of course, the Senior Football Championship Final. And it's their captain now, Thomas Quilligan, in possession into Jamie Lee. Lee now moving with the ball, heading towards a well-drilled Oola defence early on here. Coughs up possession. Good work from Josh Ryan and Mikey O'Brien in winning that free for Oola in the end. It was Mikey O'Brien that was fouled, and it's Josh Ryan takes this one quickly and in possession over on that far side as Eamon Landers plays this one in towards Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan, of course, a phenomenal hurler for the Doon Club and a fairly good player with Limerick as well. He does cough up possession. Good work from Mike O'Keefe, and Newcastle West come away with it with Darren O'Doherty, their full back. And patience now from Newcastle West all the way out here to Brian Hurley, and Hurley has time and space, plays this one and looking for AJ O'Connor. O'Connor has it in possession, looking for some support now is AJ O'Connor, and it's into Brian Hurley. Through the middle now is Thomas Quilligan. Will he shoot? He won't. Plays this one in high to Mike. The big Mike McMahon. McMahon catches it. Is there a shooting chance from Mike McMahon? Is that the first score of the game? Indeed it is. An excellent score from Mike McMahon. And Matt, just what Newcastle West would have wanted from this start.
Absolutely, and it was route one in many ways. Thomas Quilligan, the Newcastle West captain, he lofted it high. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was targeted for big Mike, and Mike brought it down and sent it over the bar. But in other circumstances, he may have blasted for a goal.
Yeah, poor kick out there, a mix up in the Oola defence. Is going to have a throw in, because the ball didn't travel outside the 21. It's Mike McMahon and Josh Ryan going for it. Ryan has won that brilliantly for Oola, and now a chance for them to move the ball out of the fence. It's a foul surely there, indeed it is. Foul on the Oola defender, and it was a foul on John Burke on that occasion. Oola have possession just inside their own 45, which Burke takes and gives the ball back to Tommy Hayes. And now it's the Oola captain, Owen Fitzgibbon, wearing number 2. But you may see Owen Fitzgibbon several times move up the field throughout this game. It's been symptomatic of the way they've played throughout this Senior Football Championship campaign. Fiacre O'Grady now leaves the ball off to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan on their own. Owen Fitzgibbon again, played inside, well caught by Duvon O'Grady. In fact, that's Fiacre O'Grady once more. But brilliant work from Newcastle West. And Ian Corbett has won a free. And just the start that Newcastle West have been looking to make. 3 minutes gone. And they really look up for it, Matt. They
really look up for it, and they're not allowing Oola in these early stages to develop any pattern of play at all at the moment. They're certainly dominating it around the middle third here, and it's a good start. And I'm sure Mike Quilligan, he won't be pleased at all with the way that ball was given away, though.
Intercepted by John Burke, and a chance for Oola to launch attack. It's a low ball in towards Richie English, and it's English on the run now. Over on that far side, gives the ball off. And shooting chance here for Oola, looking to get their first one. It's in towards number 8 there. That's Conor Ryan on the Oola side, but he gets the last touch according to the umpire. And it's going to be a kick out for Newcastle West. But the first attack from Oola, Matt.
Yeah, the first attack from Oola. We were talking in the semi-final about the impact that the Bucks made, and they made a huge impact, scoring 2-4 between them in the second half. but it's camouflaged in some way. The contribution, you will recall, John, and we were talking about it after the game, of Richie English, who was immense and who was involved in most good things Oola did in the semi-final. Now we have Corbett on a typical Corbett run.
That's a fantastic score by Ian Corbett. He picked up loose ball, and not only is he one of the best in Limerick at that, Matt, he's one of the top players on Munster in full flight. In Munster, I should say, in full flight, and that's a fine score from Ian Corbett.
Yeah, and when he goes on those trademark run, there's invariably only one result. The only variations seems to be whether it's over the bar or under the bar, because like he's an unstoppable force when he takes off like that.
Chance now for Oola, hopefully from their point of view with this kick out, but it's a poor one from Kevin Nolan. You can hear probably through our microphones here in the commentary how much that pleased the Newcastle West bench. It's another chance for Corbett outside of the foot. He starts it on the left hand side, brings it back to the right, and Matt, it's just emphasising the point you just made.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge influential figure in the earlier game. We spoke about the influence of Tommy Childs around the middle, the big man, and his county colleague Tommy Childs worked his way into the game. Ian Corbett has grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck right from the start.
Kick out from Kevin Nolan, this time kept in play over on that far side, and it's going to be off Fitzgibbon now trying to come away with it from an Oola point of view, but the hand pass doesn't go down. You have to say, Matt, Newcastle West have got out of the traps very quickly here, but Oola are still inside, and they look a very, very nervous start from them.
Yeah, it's a very tentative and a nervous start by Oola, but I have no doubt they will settle into the game. We saw something similar in the semi-final in the win over St. Kieran's, but on that occasion, like they really didn't let St. Kieran's out of sight. But the way Newcastle West are playing at the moment, and we've just into the 7th minute, and there's a huge by Mike McMahon, but he drops it, but he has it again.
Yeah, it's McMahon in possession. He's got options on his outside. It's Jamie Lee has it now into Owen Hurley. For Newcastle West, decides to give the ball back to Jamie Lee and all the way back out to William Hurley here. Hurley leaves it for his centre back Seamus Hurley, and it's all the way into the middle again then to Michael O'Leary and then to Thomas Quilligan. It's a very confident start for Newcastle West, but that's poor from Ian Corbett, uncharacteristic from him, it has to be said. And Darragh O'Donovan now in possession for Oola, and O'Donovan on the run here, gives it looking for Richie English. Oola do play direct as they can on that occasion, but English unable to pick up possession, and Michael Quilligan Jr. takes this one and gives it out to William Hurley in plenty of space. As William Hurley over on that far side, left-footed pass. AJ O'Connor has made the run, and it's AJ O'Connor in possession. He steps past Stephen Ryan with consummate ease, and it's into Stephen Brosnan, into Thomas Quilligan now. Excellent work from Newcastle West. Chance for AJ O'Connor, leaves the ball off. Shooting chance here for Newcastle West. Can they go into a 4-point to no score lead? The shot doesn't go on target, but there's going to be a free. Several hits off the ball there by the Oola defenders, Matt, and another chance for Newcastle West to extend their lead.
Yeah, and you would fancy, I would imagine it'll be Jamie Lee. Oh no, it's Owen Hurley actually. You would fancy him all day. Like if you're to get an easy free for your first free in a county final, this is it. But I suppose in a county final, John, there's no easy free.
No such thing as an easy free on county final day, is exactly right. But it is one Owen Hurley will expect to score on any other day but a county final day. And it's Hurley now lining this one up. Good strike from Owen Hurley, and Newcastle West go into a 4-point to no score lead, Matt. And already we mentioned it in the intermediate game a while ago, a 4-point lead is a big lead on a finals day. It's a big lead, but if it's consolation to Oola, we saw the way that Galtee Gales turned it around in an 18-minute spell. But Galtee Gales, even though when they were falling behind, they were never really out of the game. Oola are out of the game at the moment. They're finding it very, very hard to get out of their own half. They're being pinned back and pressed forward. And here's Corbett again in another burst. Another chance for Ian Corbett, looking to score his third of the game. It's a good effort from Corbett. This one seems to have tailed to the right and wide. No, we don't. There was a deflection on it. It's gone out for a 45. But Matt, one thing Oola have to do, and they have to do it quickly, is stop the supply to Ian Corbett. They have to stop the supply, and they have to stop the run. He's running through the middle, because he's going to run through the middle and offload to somebody in an advantageous position. Like, he's causing all sorts of problems in these early stages. It's going to be AJ O'Connor to take the 45 for Newcastle West. They've made a fine start to this game with just over 9 minutes played here in the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship Final, brought to you live and exclusively on Limerick GA TV. It's a good strike by AJ O'Connor, but it tails to the right and wide. And Matt, just probably the first thing that's gone wrong for Newcastle West so far.
Yeah, it is the first thing, and obviously Oola will see it as a let-off, but more important still, I think Oola will be hoping that it's a turning point.
They need something to happen quickly here to Oola, otherwise they will find themselves behind an unassailable lead. It's a good kick out this time from Kevin Nolan, looking for Darragh Donovan. What a flick away by Ian Corbin. It's Jamie Lee in possession. Shooting chance for Jamie Lee. That one's going to tail to the right and wide as well, and disappointed with that will Jamie Lee. But again, Matt, we see it looked to be Darragh Donovan all day catching that one, and Corbin comes from nowhere to flick it away.
Yeah, we cannot overstate the influence that he's having in these early stages of the game. Now, I see Mick Quilligan here below us. He was obviously disappointed. I'd say he thought that was nailed on for point number 5, but Jamie Lee just missed the target.
Sideline ball now for Oola, who are struggling to get out of their own 45 in the opening stages of this Senior Football Championship Final here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. Sideline ball over on their own 14-metre line, played up along the line. It's going to go to Newcastle West hands again, and it's Sean Murphy in possession, gives the ball away to Jamie Lee, over carrying by Jamie Lee, and a chance now for Oola to build something at last from their point of view. Free goes back midway between their own 65 and 45 metre line. It's John Burke that takes to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan now just looking to hold on to possession maybe for a little bit. Oola, that may be well served just to try that for the moment. It's John Burke now heading towards the middle of the park, looking for the run of Josh Ryan. Of course, so much goes through Josh Ryan from an Oola point of view. Burke has it in possession again. Mikey O'Brien was looking for the ball to be switched. It may eventually come to him. It's Duvon O'Grady here. Back to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan checks his run. Forced to give a pass to Owen Fitzgibbon. And Fitzgibbon now, no options in front. Does well to hold on to possession under good pressure from Newcastle West. Now it's Duvon O'Grady. Does have Mikey O'Brien here. It's a hand pass to Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan will have to do better than that. And it's Thomas Quilligan mopping up from Newcastle West point of view. The ball comes inside. Easy one for Stephen Brosnan. And away come Newcastle West with William Hurley. Hurley now plays it out to this left hand side, and it's Ian Corbett back defending. Corbett goes long looking for AJ O'Connor. He's met by John Burke, but AJ O'Connor has possession here. AJ O'Connor on the run. He's fouled by John Burke, but Newcastle West play the advantage with Brian Hurley. It's a good low ball into Jamie Lee. Lee now taking on Faker O'Grady. Shooting chance for Jamie Lee. Is that a score? It's gone to the right and wide. And Matt, that's 3 wides in a row for Newcastle West. 12 minutes played. They're 4 points to no score up, but it could be nearly double it.
It could be nearly double it, certainly. And Oola haven't had a worthwhile chance yet. Now they got a bit of a foothold in the Newcastle West half there, but all too briefly the Newcastle West defence did quite well. They were patient in their build-up, but all the time while they were putting it through the hands, on the far side of the field, on his own, screaming for the ball was Richie English, and nobody picked him out.
Newcastle West have won possession from the kick out yet again here. There's a foul, a late hit on Ian Corbett once again here, and Oola really need to sort this out quickly. They've had a very, very poor start with 12 and a half minutes gone here, and a chance for probably Owen Hurley will come out and take this one. He has the ball in his hands anyway, and there's certainly a talking to for Darragh O'Donovan here. Could be a card as well from Johnny Murphy. Late hit it was in Ian Corbett, and his opposite number, Darragh O'Donovan, has received a yellow card, Matt, and you know that's Darragh O'Donovan will have to watch himself for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he certainly will have to be careful. There's no room for error, and Owen Hurley now is stepping up to this one. 4 points from the first 4 attempts. Were he to miss this, 4 wides, could you see a bit of confidence training out in Newcastle West? I don't know. It's a scoreable. It certainly is a scoreable free. What is it, about 35 metres out, almost slightly to the left of the goal. It's definitely scoreable, and small bit of a pressure kick at this stage, seeing that they have missed three in a row. And,
chance here for Owen Hurley has gone high with it. Has Hurley? Is it over the bar? The umpire says it's gone to the right and wide, and that's a 4th wide on the trot for Newcastle West. Just want to say hello to a couple of our viewers here. We've Johnny Sweeney shouting for Oola from Argentina. We've Patrick Dalton supporting Newcastle West in London. Hello to both of them. And definitely the Newcastle West supporters will be happier with the performance so far from their side, but they've scored 4 and they've missed 4. Kick out though is won by Jamie Lee on the Newcastle West side of things. Anyway, Oola still struggling massively to get out of their own 45-metre line, and there's another foul by Oola. This time it's on William Hurley, and despite his protestations, Conor Ryan is going to get a talking to by Johnny Murphy. But Matt O'Callaghan, what do Oola need to do? The 14 and a half minutes played, what do Oola need to do to get back into this?
They need to find a spark somewhere, because the first thing they need to do is get out of their own half, because the game for the most part has been played in the Oola half. The Newcastle West are pinning him back, and here we have Jamie Lee, and I thought Jamie seemed to be fouled there, and actually Johnny Murphy has signalled a throw ball.
Jamie Lee seemed to have been fouled from our vantage point anyway, but the free has gone to Oola for Jamie Lee, adjudged by referee Johnny Murphy. They've thrown that ball after he shipped a big hit, it has to be said. But it's Oola now in possession with Fiacre O'Grady, and it's all the way back to John Burke. And they'll look now to come away with it again, but there's serious pressure on Oola's Pat Ryan. Now, can he inject something into this Oola team? Gets the hand pass away to Conor Ryan, but Newcastle West are swarming around. They're chasing in packs, they're hunting in packs, and AJ O'Connor's away here. Chance for Newcastle West. It's a foul on AJ O'Connor as he tried to run through. Another chance for Owen Hurley to put Newcastle West 5 points to the good, Matt, but there's nothing working out for Oola at this stage.
Nothing at the moment, but they are lucky that some of Newcastle West's shooting has been wayward. And this is interesting now. Thomas Quilligan, he's the captain of the team. After the couple of misses, he is left-footed, of course, but he is going up and he is taking the responsibility to try and end the sequence of wide shots. And it'll be interesting to see how that finishes. Straight over the bar from Tommy Quilligan.
Yeah, excellent score by the Newcastle West captain. It's their first score in 9 minutes. They've had 4 wides in a row before Quilligan sent that one over, and it's 5 points to nil here after 17 minutes nearly, or just over 16 minutes of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final, and it's very much Newcastle West game so far. 5 points to no score. It's a kick out by Kevin Nolan. It's fallen to Ian Corbett once again after Mike McMahon got a hand to it. And there's another foul on Ian Corbin. There's a bit of mouthing towards Johnny Murphy as well. So we're going to have a free right on the 21-metre line for Newcastle West. And either Owen Hurley or Thomas Quilligan, Matt, aren't likely to miss this one.
No. And this is a self-destruction battle by Oola. It was a short kick out that went hopelessly astray. I think Oola are looking like a side that are stage struck at the moment. I think it's AJ O'Connor is back in the groove for this one, and if he puts it over, it's 6 points to nil. And I'll tell you, it's becoming a yawning gap already, and we're not up to half time. No doubt whatsoever about that one. Straight over the bar.
Yeah, it's Owen Hurley with his second point of this game, his second free as well, and it's Newcastle West really running riot here. It has to be said, in the early stages they've kicked 6 points, they've had 4 wides. It could very easily on a different day be 10 points to no score. Oola still, even though they're 6 points, they have a 6 point deficit, 2 claw back. They're still in this game at the moment, but the way things are going, it's Newcastle West that are all over Oola. Maybe a change now as Conor Ryan wins possession back for Oola here. It's inside to Pat Ryan with the hand pass, and there's a bit of space now for Darragh O'Donovan to run onto. He leaves the ball off to John Burke. Burke manhandled by Sean Murphy, it has to be said, but away goes John Burke, and now looking to inject something in here. He could have been blown up for a charge there, could Burke. Referee Johnny Murphy had the whistle to his mouth, decided to play on. Kicked away possession there by Newcastle West, and Oola have it again. It was Sean Murphy who could have had time to go down for that ball. The hand pass though from Josh Ryan doesn't go to hand from Oola's point of view. And Brian Hurley brilliantly mops up possession for Newcastle West, and they look to work it away again. Brilliantly intercepted though by Mikey O'Brien. O'Brien loses it though. Newcastle West lucky to get away with that one. Stephen Brosnan in possession. Good work from Oola, but the ball fell to Newcastle West defender, but picked off the ground, and Matt O'Callaghan a chance maybe for Josh Ryan to finally get Oola on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you would have to say it is definitely a chance for Josh. Is it Josh that's going to be well, he's going over to retrieve the ball anyway. It looks as if he will be taking it, and it's a hugely important point for free for Oola. But it all came about after a series of very scrappy play that was there. It was more rucks and mauls than Gaelic football there for a minute or two. But whatever Johnny Murphy saw anyway, he saw the infringement by a Newcastle West defender. He has given the free to Josh Ryan and an opportunity to finally get off the mark. And we're into the 20th minute.
Josh Ryan, you would expect to put this one over. And that's exactly what the Oola number 11 has done. 19 and a half minutes played here, and Oola finally on the scoreboard. Big cheer and from their supporters here in the Mackey stand, but it's a long road back for them at this stage.
It is, but at least they're off the mark, and their huge support has come over from East Limerick today. But of course, it's a novel final in many ways, in that meeting in the final for the first time, and Oola haven't been here on county final day for 39 years. So it's a huge day in that part of the county.
Sean Murphy now on the attack, and it's Ian Corbett in more space. He's met by Darragh O'Donovan eventually, but Corbett gives the ball in. A chance here now straight away for Newcastle West to respond. It's AJ O'Connor with that chance, and it's AJ O'Connor with the score. Just over 20 minutes gone, Matt, and a brilliant response by Newcastle West.
Look, as far as Mike Quilligan and his management team would be concerned, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Any bit of confidence that might be starting to flow through Oola veins, that will dent him again. And here we have Newcastle West on the attack again. Stephen
Brosnan winning that Kevin Nolan kick out, and it's on the run again. It's Ian Corbett on the run again, plays this one out to Owen Hurley. It's back all the way back again then to Stephen Brosnan. Newcastle West, and absolutely no rush. Chance now for Seamus Hurley to run on with this. Mike McMahon out to Jamie Lee. Shooting chance for Jamie Lee maybe. Opts not to. Gives it to Thomas Quilligan instead. Quilligan tries one. It's going to drop short and should be Owen Fitzgibbons. He's dropped it, coughed it up. Chance for Owen Hurley. Chance for Owen Hurley. It's gone over the bar. A goal chance, Matt, that could have ended this game very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a let-off. An absolute let-off for Oola. They can certainly thank their lucky stars that they're only 7 points behind, because that could have been the game's first 3-pointer. Newcastle West keep pressing forward all the time. It's amazing, but it's all starting around the midfield here, where Corbett and Murphy are getting on so much ball and being allowed to do so. And here is Corbett again, but he's knocked off it this time.
Fiacre O'Grady getting a foot to that ball, and it's now Josh Ryan in possession, and Josh Ryan needs to have a greater impact on this game from Oola's point of view. He is their go-to man, but it's Oola on the attack, and it's Richie English in possession, met by Mike O'Keefe, but English, slippery player to be dealing with as a corner forward. Great work from Richie English. Can he get the hand pass away? He can't. Ian Burke, shooting chance for Ian Burke, and he's put it wide. It was a goal chance for the Oola number 18, and Matt, that one needed to either go into the back of net or over the bar.
It needed to go somewhere other than where it went anyway, which was wide, and we saw again, and we mentioned it at the outset, the contribution that Richie English can make, and that was the first time that he really got on the ball. He held it up terrible well. The support was slow in coming, but when it came, he offloaded, and the chance was there. Unfortunately, it was burned.
But Oola have won this kick out straight away, and they're on the attack with Tommy Hayes. Plays the ball to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan on the run. He's been tugged back, and it's going to be another chance maybe for Josh Ryan to put this one over the bar and get Oola's second point of the game. We've more comments coming in for us here. Tommy Neville supporting Newcastle West from New York. Kevin Murphy watching the game in Wexford. Conor Mullivan from Athay watching in New York as well, and Leanne Brown watching in Dubai. Again, best wishes to all of those viewers here on Limerick JATV for this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final. It's a chance for Josh Ryan to get Oola's second point of this afternoon's final. They badly need it. It's a good strike from Josh Ryan, but it's gone to the right and wide. And Matt, we mentioned it with that last chance from John Burke. We'll mention it again for Josh Ryan here. Oola just can't afford to be missing chances when they're 7 points down.
No, absolutely. No, you cannot afford to be missing chances. Look, that was a scoreable free. There's no point in trying to call it anything else. And it's a chance missed. Look, it's a long road back for Oola. They need to find a spark fairly quickly. We're 6 minutes from half time. There's a super catch by Mike McMahon. All the aces are in black today. There's no question about that. But just mentioning one of the people that made contact with us there, Leanne Brown, in Dubai. Of course, Leanne was a member of the Limerick Junior Camogie team this year and would have been a member of the Newcastle West team that won the Senior Camogie Championship, was involved all the year, and we wish Leanne the best of luck in Dubai.
Indeed we do. As Mike McMahon, an excellent catch, as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned, from that kick out. Took the mark, took a little knock to the head as well. Plays this one quickly and short to William Hurley. Ball in towards Thomas Quilligan, but Oola coming up and just starting to settle into the game a bit better, Oola. But they do trail by 7 points, a long margin, or a long way back, as we've mentioned, as we've 24 and a half minutes played here in this first half. It's going to be a free that Josh Ryan will take right on the near touchline. Plays it into the middle, and it's a chance now for Stephen Ryan to attack. Gives the ball back to John Burke, and it's Josh Ryan on the run here. Ryan powers past Brian Hurley and Ian Corbett. An outrageous hand pass attempt from Josh Ryan. That hand pass went about 40 metres. An outrageous ball. Nearly went to hands, but he knew he had the advantage for a free. And it's going to be a free for Josh Ryan. Just probably midway between the 45 and 65 metre line. And
it looks as if Josh is going to come out to take it. I would have thought at this stage, unless Josh has a real chance. No, he takes a shot. I would have thought to lob it in and have Josh Ryan on the edge of the square.
It's Ryan in possession again here now. Checks back onto his right foot. Gets the ball back, and it's going to be John Burke who will launch it in there. Aiming for Pat Ryan or Ian Burke. It's going to be a brilliant win by Darren O'Doherty there. Didn't catch it cleanly first time, but he did well enough there and gets the ball away to Michael O'Leary. And away come Newcastle West with Sean Murphy yet again. He's got options, but he's been fouled anyway. And it's all just too easy for Newcastle West, Matt.
All just too easy, and Oola are making it very, very easy for him. Like the shot free, I don't think it was the option to take there. I think I would have taken a free, put Josh Ryan in the edge of the square. See, can you conjure up something? Because really, Oola are already in the territory of needing a goal.
Indeed, they are, maybe more than one, as well as Newcastle West on the attack with Brian Hurley. Hand passes off to Ian Corbett. Corbett now plays this one low into AJ O'Connor. O'Connor's out in front of his man, Fiacre O'Grady. O'Grady was all over O'Connor. No surprise to see a free given there, and even it is close to the touchline, this right hand touchline. Thomas Quilligan going to have a go at this? No sign of him coming close to it yet, and it's Ian Corbett going to take. Corbett switches plates, not the best of deliveries from the Newcastle West number 9, and Oola easily mop this one up and come away with Darragh O'Donovan in possession. O'Donovan now carries forward outside of his own 45 metre line, heading towards the 65, but passes to Josh Ryan, and Ryan in turn gives it to Duván O'Grady. Brings it into Newcastle West territory as Richie English takes possession for Oola. They need something, and they certainly need something before half time, as Darragh O'Donovan takes possession again, and it's into Josh Ryan. It's just too slow from Oola at this stage. He's got John Burke in space here, and Burke has a couple of options. That's more like it from Oola. It's Tommy Hayes up from full back. Hayes on the run now. Chance for Tommy Hayes. The shot is wayward. Pat Ryan will do well to keep this one in under pressure. Ryan is unable to do so, and it's a wide for Oola. And Matt, it was Tommy Hayes again, not the shooter that Oola would have wanted, taking a pot shot at the goals from that position, and a chance goes a begging.
Yeah. I think this is very, very poor and very, very disappointing from Oola. And you know, in fairness to everybody, it's not the type of performance that Oola have shown in throughout the competition, because there seems to be no cohesion there whatsoever. They were a bit lackluster and lethargic in the early stages of the semi-final. Long before half-time, they grew into it and had the lead down to a manageable 4 points at half-time. They seem to be making no imprint whatsoever.
We've a throw in here, delayed kick out by Michael Quilligan. Junior goes, ball's thrown in. Richie English gets a hand to it. Can he come away with it? It's a chance here for Pat Ryan. Ryan, can he get the pass away? He does get the pass away. A shot goes in from Eamon Landers, and it's gone to the right and wide yet again from Oola. And it just really, we've mentioned it several times in commentary, Matt, that really can't afford to miss chances like that.
Yeah, but in defence of Eamon Landers, I think Presida took the shot that time. The pressure that was on him from the Newcastle West defence, he did very well to get his shot away, and trying to get it on target, you know, was virtually impossible.
Kick out again from Michael Quilligan here. It's right into the middle of the park. It's Owen Fitzgibbon has won it for Oola. And it's now gives it to Tommy Hayes. Hayes under pressure from Sean Murphy and Owen Hurley, but gets the hand pass away, and it's over on that far side again for Oola. Back into Owen Fitzgibbon now. Darragh O'Donovan on the run, met by Sean Murphy, but O'Donovan beats a couple of defenders well and is fouled by Sean Murphy, and a chance for Josh Ryan. And really, we've mentioned it and we're going to keep repeating ourselves, I suppose, at this stage, but this one must go over.
Yeah, and the fourth official, Patsy Coffey, is putting up the board there, and it says that there are 2 minutes of additional time, which means we have just slightly over 2.5 minutes to play before the half-time whistle. I suggest for Kim Downey and his backroom team that he cannot come quick enough to get his charges in, try and regroup, try and refocus and shake off whatever rustiness or whatever jitters that they have, and come out and have a go at it in the second half. Meanwhile, Josh Ryan has finally found the target with a point, with Oola's second point.
Yeah, this time it's off his left foot. Josh Ryan pops that one over. A much needed score for Oola, only their second of this afternoon's game. And of course, Josh Ryan with both of their scores, and both of them coming from frees. So it's 8 points to 2 in favour of Newcastle West here, as we have 2 minutes of additional time left in this opening half, I should say, of this game.
Catch again by Mike McMahon in the middle of the field.
McMahon has played it quickly into Ian Corbett here. Corbett on the run, maybe a chance of a goal here. Corbett may bury it himself, gives the hand pass away to AJ O'Connor. Chance, and AJ O'Connor has missed an absolute sitter. Has to be said, he never got a good shot away. It looked easy finish into the corner for AJ O'Connor, but he fluffed his lines. And I'm just waiting to see here what the umpire has signalled. Signalled as a 45, a huge chance for AJ O'Connor. Matt, that would have finished the game.
It would have absolutely finished it. Of course, Mike Quilligan, the goalkeeper, is a former forward, and he's coming up now to take the former free taker as well. He's coming up to take this one, and his kicking is one of the characteristics. His kick out of this Newcastle West team, and we saw there it was a pinpoint kick out into the hands of Mike McMahon. Now, Mike McMahon was surrounded. He had a bit of work. It was at the second attempt he grabbed it, but he spotted Ian Corbett on the run, and Ian Corbett did everything right. He even drew the last defender, probably overcooked the pass a small bit, that AJ O'Connor was left with a tight angle, but somehow it was scrambled out wide. Scrambled out for a 45.
Indeed it was, and a chance now for Michael Quilligan to, with this 45, and restore a 7-point lead for Newcastle West. It's Quilligan with the strike. He struck it very well, but it's tailing to the right and wide yet again, and it's another wide for Oola. As we say hello to all the Kilmallock people in Neil Ryan Bar in Oola, supporting Oola today, and watching John Mike Manning as well. Breeda Nick Queeve, best of luck to Uncle Mike and all the boys. That's Newcastle West, and another score as we're talking there, an excellent score. I think it was Mike McMahon that got that one. Brilliant score, puts them 9 points to 2 up. In fact, it was AJ O'Connor who popped that one over the bar, Matt, and another mistake from an Oola kick out, and 9 points to 2.
Yeah, and I suppose it was the last thing Oola needed, like a hole in the head, was to concede the last score just before they went in, because like they had pulled it back to 8 points to 6, still a formidable gap, but that point now, I suppose it typifies the way the day is going for the respective teams, and like there isn't anybody in the ground, and there's a good sized crowd downstairs. There isn't anybody could argue for 1 minute that Oola are not, Newcastle West are not full value for their lead. Like they have been out of the traps right from the start, and like you mentioned it yourself, John, about had they not missed, they had 4 wides there on the trot, and 1 or 2 more bad wides now, and there were scoreable chances. So one could only wonder the kind of a task that Oola would have to face had some 1 or 2 of those gone over. As it is, it's a huge task for Oola, and it's the big question now is, are they up to the task? Am I right in saying that they haven't scored from play in the first half? It's just 2 points. It's just 2 points from frees, and I suppose that in itself tells the story of the game. Like Newcastle West, like their full value for their 7 points lead, and of course, when we think about Newcastle West, there's a residue of hurt in Newcastle West from the 2017 final, and they lost it in dramatic circumstances down here at the Clare goal with a late goal from Jack English for a day. And I think they have been fired up right from the word go today to ensure that there won't be a repetition. And they're 7 points clear now. It is a mountain for Oola to climb. Now they can do it. We saw a very, very spectacular second half from them against St. Kieran's. I would not rule it out, but I think it's going to be very difficult, John.
Indeed it will be. It's Newcastle West leading 9 points to 2 at the end of the first half of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. Join us for the second half shortly. Welcome back to the LIT Gaelic grounds here for the second half of the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final, of course brought to you live and exclusively on Limerick GAA TV's Facebook page from the LIT Gaelic grounds. It's very much a dominant Newcastle West performance we witnessed here so far in this final. They lead Oola 9 points to 2. We're just awaiting the beginning of the second half. Matt O'Callaghan joins me in co-commentary. Matt, you know, a dominant performance, as I mentioned, by Newcastle West thus far, but you know, there's still a chance here for Oola, but they need something to happen very quickly at the beginning of the second half.
They do. There's very, very little time to make it happen. It needs a response, and it needs, if ever an immediate response was needed, and if ever the first 10 minutes of a second half are crucial to a team, certainly it's the 10 minutes coming up now for Oola as the ball is thrown in. Josh Ryan won it initially, but it eventually fell to Michael McMahon, and it's Newcastle West about to launch an attack right from the very start.
Yeah, it's Thomas Quilligan in possession now for Newcastle West, and very much in the early stages of the second half. It's all the Magpies in possession and having the territory once again. It's Brian Hurley in possession, plays this one out to Stephen Brosnan, and Brosnan happy to go back to his centre back, and that's Seamus Hurley. And it'll be patience, no question about that. Newcastle West don't have to rush anything here in the second half. Ian Corbett, of course, in possession there, give a dominant display from midfield and breaking away from midfield in typical fashion in that first half. And it's still Newcastle West with Brian Hurley. Switches play again over to Stephen Brosnan. Brosnan has Thomas Quilligan. Will he put it in long to Mike McMahon? That's exactly what he's done. Big ball into McMahon. There's a foul behind McMahon. It wasn't by him himself. I think it was AJ O'Connor who's been spotted with a foul on one of the Oola defenders, and it's Oola that come away with the ball again. And Darragh O'Donovan in possession. O'Donovan struggling to hold on to it, does well in the end to get past a couple of defenders. He was being fouled, and it's Oola come away again with John Burke. Burke met by Thomas Quilligan. He's been done for over carrying, and that's not what Oola need from the start of this second half. And it's going to be a free for Newcastle West, probably a bit far for Owen Hurley. Jamie Lee takes possession. Lee plays the ball back to Stephen Brosnan. And Matt, you know, Oola wanted a fast start, but it's all been possession for Newcastle West in the opening minute and a half.
Yeah, it's more of the same from Newcastle West. They're starting the second half as they started the first, and I have no doubt that Jerome Stack and Mike Quilligan will have stressed that for him to come out and go on the front foot, and any confidence that's left in Oola to try and drain it out of him. Jamie Lee with a monster of a kick. It's gone to the left and wide.
Yeah, first shot of the second half here after just 2 minutes of action. It's gone to the left and wide from the boot of Jamie Lee. He'll be disappointed with that. Certainly a distance for where he's well accustomed to scoring from. But either way, it's a wide for Newcastle West, and Kevin Nolan, who had a mixed opening half with kickouts. This one looks to be good, aiming for John Burke. It's a brilliant catch from Burke. And Brian Hurley stops him, taking that one quickly, but he eventually gets the ball away. It's Eamon Landers now for Oola as the crowd tries to get behind him. Plays this one in to Richie English. Tight marking by Mike O'Keefe there on Richie English. English does come away with possession, but the momentum stopped. But English is away here. Beats a couple of defenders. Chance for Richie English now on the attack for Oola. Gets the hand pass away to Eamon Landers. Probably not a shooting chance for Landers, is it? Gets the ball across, and it's gone to the left and wide. Mikey O'Brien had come in looking for the ball and just evaded him really. Got a hand to it, but not harmlessly wide, and another chance of a score goes a begging.
It does, and we said it at the outset about the influence of Richie English. The few times, and there have been a few times, that they have played the ball into his direction, he's got on the ball, he has created something, and he's likely to create something. He's able to hold it up, he's able to offload it. Above all, he's able to time the offload, which he did there to create some danger. They need to get him more definitely on the ball, and what he's doing is exactly what he did in the semi-final against St. Kieran's.
Yeah, it's Newcastle West on the attack again here. It's Stephen Brosnan into Owen Hurley. He has runners. One of them is Seamus Hurley, and it's Owen Hurley again inside the Jamie Lee's. Quick hand passing work here from Newcastle West, just trying to spread the play for Ian Corbett. Plays this one in looking for Mike McMahon. It's a brilliant ball from Corbett. McMahon to AJ O'Connor. Brilliant block down by Tommy Hayes. Excellent work from the Oola full back, and he comes away with possession. Maybe that's the lift that Oola certainly need. It's John Burke now out to that left hand side, and his left half back is Duvon O'Grady. O'Grady forced to come backwards. That's okay for the moment for Oola, and it's Darragh O'Donovan making ground down that left hand side. Good shoulder by Darren O'Darley came out and met Duvan O'Grady with a fair shoulder. Certainly looked a fair shoulder from her vantage point, but certainly Duvan O'Grady has come out the worst of that one.
Yeah, Johnny Murphy has stopped play. It's probably for attention now to Duvan O'Grady. He looks as if he certainly has taken a heavy knock, but probably will be okay. But we saw the situation there just before that in the sequence of play where Ian Corbett delivered long to Mike McMahon. Mike McMahon was quite happy just to deflect the ball into the path of AJ O'Connor, and it was an absolutely superb and critical block down by Tom Hayes. Meanwhile, the Newcastle West fullback.
Yeah, Darren O'Doherty is the man who challenged Duvan O'Grady, and now Darren O'Doherty moved away from the play but has suddenly gone down injured himself. He seems to be in a fair bit of trouble as well, and we're going to have a change, I think, for Newcastle West. Certainly we might have a change on either side here. Darren O'Doherty outside of the play just went down injured, and Johnny Murphy's telling him to get back up. He's got a signal from one of his umpires. A bit of drama here, we're not sure quite what's happened. Darren O'Doherty's gone down, he stayed down injured, he's now up, and Johnny Murphy has pulled him up for something there. Darren O'Doherty is the only way to describe it, a miraculous recovery from the Newcastle West fullback. Not quite sure what all that was about. There's a bit of laughter down in the Newcastle West bench as well about that situation. We may have to ask him after the game what that was all about. Duvan O'Grady is up, and he's certainly going to continue. How fit or how long he'll continue is a different question. The ball is thrown in, and it's Newcastle West and Mike McMahon that wins it. Plays it into Ian Corbett. He's a judge to have picked it up off the ground, and it's a free for Oola, and just more momentum for Oola, and it's what they need. But more importantly, Matt O'Callaghan, they need scores and they need them fast. We played 6 minutes of this second half, and they're yet to even trouble the goal.
Yeah, they certainly need. They need to get on the scoreboard, and they need to start making inroads into that lead, because time is ticking away quite quickly. Like, we're well into the 7th minute. A long kick from Josh Ryan, and it's off target.
Tail to the right again from Oola. Another wide from their point of view. He missed a couple in the first half as well, to Josh Ryan, and it's going to be a kick out for Newcastle West.
I'm amused by a certain amount of remonstration by officials down here on the sideline around the area of the fourth official, and it's blissfully all flying over Patsy Coffey's head. He's giving absolutely the thumbs down to the whole lot of it.
Indeed he is, as Pat Ryan tries to launch an attack for Oola. Plays this one long, it's too long for Richie English. There's a foul, according to the referee, Darren O'Doherty, on Richie English on that occasion. Looked to be a relatively soft one, it has to be said. That's certainly the view of Mike Quilligan and Jerome Stack down in front of us here. Either way, it's a chance for Josh Ryan. He missed the last one. This one, though, is much more within his range. He'll take this one eventually from close to the 21 metre line, looking for his third point of the game. He scored 2 frees, one off either foot in the first half, and it's Josh Ryan now trying to get Oola underway in the second half. It's a good strike from Josh Ryan. Has it gone over the bar? Well, the umpires are saying wide. They were looked to be signalling wide. Johnny Murphy has overruled them. It's a point for Oola, much needed point. We played 7.5 minutes of the half, Matt. We've the first score of the second half.
Yeah, it was important because for Oola, because in the early stages, for a considerable, I suppose, for the best part of 5 minutes, it was Newcastle West that were on the front foot, and they came away without a score, and now Oola have gone down and put the first dent in the lead.
Yeah, it's another chance for Oola. You can hear the crowd in the background getting behind them. It's a foul on Josh Ryan. It's going to be another chance. He may be advised to give this one in towards John Burke. Ian Burke is certainly calling for it inside the full forward line. It's gone into Pat Ryan though. Pat Ryan now in possession. Does well to hold onto it under a lot of pressure, it has to be said, into Duvan O'Grady. Seems to have recovered from that injury a few moments ago. John Burke has possession now. Back to Ian Burke. Ian Burke's shot looks to be good from our angle. It is going to drop short though. Out comes Mike Willigan. Deals with it brilliantly with a big punch from the goalkeeper. The hand pass from Mike O'Keefe eventually works out for Newcastle West. That good clearance for O'Keefe, and off goal Newcastle West with Jamie Lee. He's got Mike McMahon inside. McMahon in turn gives it to Ian Corbett. Corbett gives the ball into AJ O'Connor, and there's danger here for Faker O'Grady. O'Connor's got away from O'Grady. Shooting chance here for AJ O'Connor into Sean Murphy. Murphy foul. It's a penalty for Newcastle West. Foul on Sean Murphy. inside the 14-metre line. We can see it here, Matt. There's no question he was tripped, and no question the awarding of the penalty is correct.
Yeah, Johnny Murphy didn't seem to have any doubt, and he was right up with the play. But just rewind a small bit. It was an excellent save by Mike Quilligan. Now it wasn't an easy save. He punched it to Mike O'Keefe. Mike O'Keefe lost it initially and then recovered and played a sublime ball into the path of Jamie Lee, who found Mike McMahon, and then they worked it through the hands, and eventually it was AJ O'Connor, I think, that was brought down for the penalty. Sorry, it was Sean Murphy actually, and Ian Corbett is coming up to take the penalty, and without wanting to put the commentator's curse on him, I think he's a decent record in that score.
Yeah, it'd be very good chance here for Newcastle West, and if he does bury this one, Ian Corbett, they've gone a long way to giving Newcastle West their first Limerick Senior Football Championship title since 2015. It's Corbett versus Kevin Nolan. Nolan moving around the goal line. Corbett lines it up, places it. Goal for Newcastle West. Kevin Nolan got a hand to it. Wasn't the best strike in the world from Ian Corbett, but it's a goal either way for Newcastle West, and that mountain that Oola had to climb, Matt, has just got a lot bigger.
Yeah, you'd have to say the mountain now has become an Everest, and it's a huge margin. 9 points. We have just slightly less than 20 minutes to go, and Newcastle West are on top, and Oola are after being pulled for overplaying, over carrying there, and it's a free to Newcastle West now, which they're going to lobby in around the house, because Mike McMahon has taken up his position right on the verge of the square. No, they're actually going backwards and going to build from the back.
Yeah, patience is all that Newcastle West needed for the rest of this game. We've 11 minutes played exactly of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final, and it's all Newcastle West. They're leading Oola 1-9 to 3 points here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. As the ball comes towards Stephen Brosnan on this near side, Brosnan has Ian Corbett to his left. Corbett has it. The ball's going in long to Mike McMahon. May not reach McMahon. In the end it does. AJ O'Connor though has been blown up for a push, and Oola with Owen Fitzgibbon get us back on their way, and it's Darragh O'Donovan now, and you know it's looking very, very good for Newcastle West and not so good for Oola here at the moment. Darragh O'Donovan's fouled. It's going to be a card here for one of the Newcastle West players. I think it's Brian Hurley that's going to be blown up here. It's a foul either way, and it's going to be a card by Johnny Murphy. Foul on Darragh O'Donovan here, and Oola needs something to happen. We've mentioned it several times. There's going to be a double substitution by Oola coming up here. We're going to see Jack Downey and James Power about to come on for the East Limerick side, but the free is taken before that can happen, and it's Owen Fitzgibbon now on the attack for Oola. Hand passes inside, and it's a shooting chance here. It's going to drop short easy one from Mike Quilligan, and Oola really can't afford. We've said it I don't know how many times in commentary, Matt, they continue to miss chances where Newcastle West are much more clinical in attack, and away they come with Seamus Hurley. Ships that challenge from Josh Ryan brilliantly to Seamus Hurley, holds on to possession into Stephen Brosnan, and every time Newcastle West do something right, there's a huge roar from their bench, there's a huge roar from their crowd, and Sean Murphy wins another ball back for Newcastle West. Brilliant work from Sean Murphy, the man who was fouled by Tommy Hayes for the penalty. But Oola have coughed up possession here. They've won the possession well. It's Darragh O'Donovan on the attack here. He's got Ian Burke to his left. He's going to go on his own for the moment as O'Donovan. Hand pass inside is a poor one though, and out comes Michael O'Leary for Newcastle West. And O'Leary's hit late. He played the ball up to AJ O'Connor, and Jamie Lee calls for all his teammates just to calm everything down. They're not in a rush to do anything. They're well in control of this game, Matt, and we can't see any other outcome than a Newcastle West win at the moment.
It looks as if they're well on course now to their fourth title and a first since 2015, and it's hard to see where Oola are going to find a response. They're going to try it. They're going to send in a couple of subs at the moment. I think it's Jack Downey is going in, and James Power, and it looks as if it is if John Burke and Conor Ryan are coming off now. John Burke and Conor Ryan would be two of the more experienced players that in normal circumstances I suppose Oola would be looking to spark a revival, but look, we're 44 minutes into the game, and Oola haven't scored from play yet, and overall and all round, it has been a very, very disappointing day for Oola. And so far, unless there is a miracle between now and over the next 20 minutes, it's going to be a day to forget for the East Limerick men.
Certainly looking that way at the moment here, as we've played, as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned, just over 44 minutes. It's Newcastle West in firm control of this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final, as Brian Hurley plays this one back to Thomas Quilligan. It's all too easy for Newcastle West. It's been that way throughout the game. Josh Ryan with all 3 of Oola's points, and all 3 coming from place balls, as Newcastle West build up slowly with William Hurley. Eventually comes to Ian Corbett. Corbett now just happy to switch play. Stephen Brosnan in plenty of space here. He's got options. He's got options to his left. He's got options behind. It's Brian Hurley now currently with the ball for Newcastle West in absolutely no rush. They don't need to do anything else but hold on to possession here, as Corbett will take off on a run here. He's met by Josh Ryan quickly. He gets the hand pass away. There was a foul by Josh Ryan and Ian Corbett. It's more frustration from Josh Ryan, it has to be said, than anything else. But, it's another chance for Newcastle West to add to their lead.
And that's exactly what it was, is frustration, because Ian Corbett had more or less offloaded the ball, and there was no imminent danger there. And I suppose it's the type of frustration that sets in when you're in the situation that Oola are in now at the moment. Owen Hurley is stepping up to this one, and were he to kick it, I think it would be rubbing salt into sore wounds at this stage. And it's kickable.
Indeed it is, as we say hello to a couple of more people watching abroad. We have Pater Hurley is watching in Chicago. Owen Hurley takes this one's gone straight to the left and wide from Hurley. Jamie Williams following the game from Edinburgh. We thank everyone for tuning in to us today on Limerick GATV's Facebook page. Hopefully for whoever's watching, their team is winning at the moment. We know that's not the case, sadly, for the Oola fans at the moment. For the neutral, it's all Newcastle West. And for their fans who can't make it to the Gaelic grounds today, they'll be very happy as Stephen Brosnan catches an excellent ball there. And marks it as Thomas Quilligan now on the attack. It's Michael O'Leary coming up from his full back line, and Michael O'Leary maybe a bit of a rush of blood to the head, nosebleed. In fact, he's up too far from his usual full back line position. As Oola come away with it again, the ball is played down, looking for Jack Downey, the recently introduced Limerick under-21 player. Jack Downey scored a stunning 45 to lead Limerick to victory earlier this year against Tipperary at Semple Stadium, but Jack Downey's been fouled, and there's going to be a chance here for Josh Ryan to get his 4th point of the game, Matt, but it's not points that Oola need at this stage, it's goals, and it's lots of them.
Yeah, it is. We were saying they were into needing a goal territory. They're actually into the territory of needing at least 2 goals now to spark a revival. And I think, by the way, he's gearing up for this one, that Josh is happy to put it over the bar for a 4th point, and no doubt at all about it, safely over the bar, reduces the margin to 8. But I suppose it's fair to say, John, that an 8-point margin at this point scarcely reflects the mastery and the superiority of Newcastle West in the second half.
Even in the first half, Matt, they've been on it from the minute that Johnny Murphy threw the ball in. Mike McMahon caught the first one. They've just been all positivity from Newcastle West from that moment on. Seamus Hurley loses possession there. Is there a foul on the Oola man? There doesn't seem to be. The ball is bobbling around. Johnny Murphy would be well advised to just throw this one up, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Coming up to 48 minutes played here in the LIT Gaelic grounds, and as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned, it's very much a dominant display from this Newcastle West side. Oola, the only team to take points off them in the group stages earlier this year. They've won every other game. Oola beating him by a point in Martinstown, as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned, as they've prepared Dear McKilly, I think it is, to come on for Newcastle West, as Oola on the attack now with James Power. Power's fouled, and there's going to be a free that James Power's going to take. In fact, he leaves it to Josh Ryan. It's probably a bit far for Josh Ryan, indeed it is. Owen Fitzgibbon now takes that pass in and gives it to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan on the run, he's got a man on his left, that's Duvon O'Grady. It's taken though by Pat Ryan. Ryan trying to fashion a bit of space for a shot, unable to do so as Tommy Hayes takes possession. Now it's a shooting chance for Ian Burke. And is that over the bar? Is that a score? Indeed it is. Excellent effort from Ian Burke. And with just over 11 minutes remaining, Matt. It's a vital score for Oola, but probably just that bridge too far so far.
Yeah, it probably is a bit late, but it was an excellent score by Ian Burke, and we saw he got a couple of them here in the semi-final. They were crucial against St. Kieran's, and we've seen the introduction of Dermot Kelly. Now, Dermot Kelly is a player that I suppose it's fair to say it gives you a sense and an idea of the strength of this Newcastle West squad, because probably Dermot Kelly, I would say, would find a starting place in most teams in this competition.
Indeed he would. It just shows how strong this Newcastle West squad is, as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned. It's Thomas Quilligan, the team captain, now in possession for Newcastle West. Is he going to go long? There's no Mike McMahon in there at the moment, but he's making his way in there. Owen Hurley now is just going to have a pop either way. Fine strike by Owen Hurley. Looks good from here. All of 45 metres. And just symptomatic of Newcastle West dominance, Matt. From 45 metres, why not have a shot? And when you can execute like that, it's the right option every time.
It's the right option, and coming so soon after an excellent point for Oola there from Ian Burke, that was the perfect response. Newcastle West will be delighted with it. It may well be the score that has finally closed the door.
Ian Corbett low one into Mike McMahon now. Shooting chance for McMahon. Good block from Tommy Hayes. Good block indeed, but McMahon has possession again. He's done well to hold on to it. But there's going to be a free out here for Oola, and Duvon O'Grady gets us back on our way very quickly here. It's Darragh O'Donovan on the run. O'Donovan now under pressure from 3 Newcastle West defenders. Gets the hand pass away, and that hand pass is into Jack Downey. Well capable of putting this one over the bars, Jack Downey. The block came in from Seamus Hurley. Put enough pressure on Jack Downey, and that's great work from the Newcastle West centre back.
Yeah, great defending, and like the defending of Newcastle West has been absolutely excellent. They've only conceded 1 point from play, and like there have been 4 frees against them, but it's a very, very competent and efficient performance at the back by Newcastle West.
Indeed it is. Fantastic performance. Not the best kickouts there from Michael Quilligan. Straight to Jack Downey. It's into Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan now in possession. Oola need goals. They need him fast. Ryan, no real options in front of him, it has to be said. Everything's been blocked out by Newcastle West. A superb performance from the Magpies thus far, and easily cleared out of the fence. It's Michael O'Leary now plays this one off to Owen Hurley. O'Leary has it again. In fact, that's Mike O'Keefe. Apologies. Mike O'Keefe back into the middle to Sean Murphy. And now it's Darren O'Doherty coming away with the ball for Newcastle West. It's a dominant performance, Matt, in every facet of the game. They've been well on top of Oola. Okay, it hasn't been Oola's day, but we have to pay huge credit to this Newcastle West outfit with coming up to 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. They have put on an exhibition to a certain degree here today. Here's another scoring chance coming up. Oh no, the Oola defence have dealt with it, but Oola haven't been allowed settle into any type of rhythm at all during the course of the game, and getting a small bit of a foothold in these last few minutes now. But
it's Richie English with the ball. The Pat Ryan goal chance here for Oola. Can Ryan finish? No, it's blocked on the line. Excellent work from Darren O'Doherty. And I think it was Michael O'Leary back there this time. Brilliant work by the Newcastle West defence. And when Oola have created half goal chances, Matt, they've been snuffed out each time. Excellent performance by the Newcastle West full back line.
Absolutely excellent defending and excellent support in defence. But it's one of those days for Oola when you could say the ducks would drown them.
It was well put there by Matt O'Callaghan of the Weekly Observer Vale Star. It's all Newcastle West with just coming up to 7 minutes of regular time remaining here. It's Eamon Landers here for Oola. Plays this one, lucky for Richie English, but brilliant man marking job again by the Newcastle West defender. And this time yet again it was Mike O'Keefe who has had a superb game. Newcastle West readying another couple of substitutions. We're just looking to see who's coming on. Lee Wolfe is one of them, certainly getting ready to come on. Newcastle West in no rush, and Stephen Brosnan certainly in no rush to take this sideline ball. It's all the way back to Mike Quilligan. Eventually Quilligan under pressure gets the hand pass away. He's thrown the ball though, and we're just looking to see now. It's going to be a free for Oola. It's goals they need, and it's goals they need very, very quickly here. But it's Eamon Landers now in possession for Oola. Landers under great pressure again. Landers putting it across. It's blocked by Newcastle West, and it's just further good work has to be said. Surely a free out. No holding, says referee Johnny Murphy. And away comes Stephen Brosnan, and away come Newcastle West and Michael O'Leary. O'Leary inside to Diarmuid Kelly, and Kelly to Corbett. Ian Corbett now on the run. He's got Jamie Lee if he wants to switch play. He's got Mike McMahon in front, but he's willing to take it on himself as Ian Corbett. Corbett now has Michael O'Leary next to him as well, making another foray up into the forward line, but Corbett has eventually lost possession, and it's it's Darragh O'Donovan who takes possession back for Oola here. Plays this one low into Eamon Landers. Landers tries to switch play. It's a good ball, is it, to Pat Ryan? Just not enough on it. And William Hurley picks up possession, does he? No, Pat Ryan has won this one back. It's going to be a free in, is it? No, Ian Burke has it now. Again, good work from Ian Burke. Tries the shot, just skies this one into the air. Hand on it from Stephen Brosnan. Shot from Pat Ryan. It's easy for Michael Quilligan. Matt and Oola are getting half chances of goals in the last few minutes, but still nothing coming for them.
Nothing coming from them. I thought Newcastle West dealt with that situation quite competently. They got no real clear-cut chance on goal. And here we have Newcastle West breaking again now through Thomas Quilligan. A long ball. It looks like Jamie Lee that tried to keep it in play, but knocked it out over the sideline. So it's a line ball to Oola.
Sideline ball taken quickly by Tommy Hayes, and plays this one to James Power. In turn gives it to Jack Downey. His goals quickly needed here. We've just under 5 minutes remaining here, and it's Newcastle West leading by 8 points here. Foul on Darragh O'Donovan there, and Jack Downey will take this one quickly, but he's going to have to wait as both Lee Wolfe comes onto the field for Newcastle West. Brian Nix is also going to be introduced by Mike Quilligan. And Matt, two players again that could very easily start on this team.
Yeah, two teams again that epitomise the strength of the Newcastle West panel. Again, I would say, like Diarmuid Kelly, they would probably be on most club first teams. It give you an idea of the abundance of and the bounty of riches that Newcastle West have at their disposal, and their biggest problem seems to have been in the past is to get the proper format on the field, and they certainly have it done today. You mentioned there a while ago that Oola were the only team to take points off them in the group stages. They're the only team to take points off them in 2 years, because they went through the group stages unbeaten last year. So, this is a formidable Newcastle West team, and it's a team like that hasn't arrived on the scene overnight. Now, they had disappointing results in the knockout stages in 2016 to Drum Broadford, in the county final here in 2017, in the semi-final last year to Ballylanders, and by God, they have learned from that, and they were taking no chances today from the get-go. They took the game and played on the front foot, and for most of the 57 minutes that we've played so far, they have been on the front foot.
100% agree with that one. It's been all Newcastle West as Josh Ryan lines this one up, trying to cut the gap that Oola are chasing down to 7 points. Here is Josh Ryan, looking for his fourth of this afternoon, or fifth I should say. That's over the bar from Josh Ryan, and it's over the bar. The umpire finally signals of a Matt. It's just been Josh Ryan though for Oola, to be fair. Okay, Ian Burke has scored 1 point from play, but everything else has come from the boot of Josh Ryan. It has,
and it has come significantly from frees, and the substitute is going in now, and Patsy Coffey is about to take us out of our misery and tell us how much additional time. No, he's not actually. He's actually indicating that AJ O'Connor is being replaced by Lee Wolfe. Sorry, by Brian Nix actually.
Brian Nix, a player, Matt, who made a vital contribution when Newcastle West were in all sorts of trouble in the quarter-final against Ballysteen. Came off the bench in the last 10 minutes, scored 1-2, and just shows the calibre of this Newcastle West squad.
Yeah, that's the point I've made a couple of times. You look at their squad, and it's awesome. It's formidable, and what is even more significant is that the real strength on the bench is among young players that are coming through and are coming through fast. We have another free here now. In the meantime, Patsy Coffey has indicated that there are going to be 5 minutes of additional time. probably was between stops and substitutions and what have you. Is there one last hooray in Oola? One wonders. Owen Fitzgibbon has gone up now to try and rescue the game, the team captain. I think Josh Ryan is going to be satisfied to tap this over the bar. Again, I suppose it's a cliche at this stage, but is it too little too late to rescue this game over the next 6 minutes, which includes 5 minutes of injury time? They need 2 goals. It's hard, it's doable. Hard to see it.
Yeah, it is hard to see indeed. Josh Ryan with another score, his 6th of this afternoon. Of course, all 6 of them coming from place balls from Oola's number 11 as Mike Quilligan gets this one away. Good kick out again from Quilligan, just that bit long for Mike McMahon, but Diarmuid Kelly gets a boot to it. It's Stúvan O'Grady that comes up with possession for Oola down. Stúvan on the run. He's got James Power on this right hand side. Power about to launch this one and he cuts across it. It's a good ball, dangerous ball in and around the 14. There's a free out spotted though by Johnny Murphy. A foul by Josh Ryan. I'm not sure if there was much in it, maybe a little bit of a shove. Either way, it's a free out for Newcastle West, Matt, and we know for certain they're going to be in no rush to get rid of this one.
No. Time is on their side very much, John. They're not going to be in a big hurry. Meanwhile, Keith Burke is coming into the game and he's replacing Richie English. It would seem to suggest that Richie probably has picked up a knock or something, but Richie English is off. Keith Burke is on. He has less than 5 minutes to influence the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it's Newcastle West working the ball out of the fence with Mike O'Keefe. He's got his full back Darren O'Doherty there close by, and O'Doherty has given a dominating performance, that has to be said, at full back as well. Everything that's been asked of him he's done. And a very impressive all-round team performance, it has to be said, by this Newcastle West outfit as they lead by 6 points. We're just coming up to a minute of injury time played in this Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final. And very much Newcastle West day so far as Sean Murphy on the run. He's got options either side as Murphy eventually gives it, and the shot comes in. And it's a good score over there. I think it was Lee Wolfe with the shot in the end. In fact, it wasn't. It was Brian Nix with that score. Matt, a fantastic score with his first touch.
Yeah, fantastic score, John. And you mentioned a while ago the influence and the impact he made against Ballysteen in the quarter-final. And that would appear to finally close the door for Oola. It's now 7 points with less than 4 minutes to go. It looks as if there is no way back for Oola at this point.
Yeah, Oola on the attack with Darragh O'Donovan. They need goals. We've mentioned it several times in the second half and none have been forthcoming. They're just going to keep trying, in fairness to them, and it's possession lost there, but it's a free for Oola. And Stephen Ryan, that was fouled. It was Stephen Ryan that took the free, but it's Darragh O'Donovan in possession again here. And it's James Power now on the run for the East Limerick side. He's been tugged back by Diarmuid Kelly, no question of foul. And Newcastle West, Matt, showing all their experience in the closing stages here as a legend in the Newcastle West colours, a Magpie legend, trying to get onto the field. He's going to have to get off the field as Stephen Kelly, because there was no signal as of yet. Is there a signal yet? Indeed there is. Stephen Kelly is about to enter the game here anyway, Matt. A fitting, maybe not end to his career, but a fitting substitution to bring on so late in the game.
A fitting substitution, and the captain, Tommy Quilligan, is making way, I suppose, to put the final touches at this stage, you would have to say, to his captain's speech. But it's absolutely fantastic at this stage to see one of Limerick's and Newcastle West's finest coming on and getting a run at this late stage in the game, and in line for a richly deserved second county senior medal. Meanwhile, Josh Ryan has tapped over his 7th point of the game. It closes the gap to 6. There are just slightly over 2 minutes of injury time remaining. I think we're probably playing out for time. Mike Quilligan is preparing to kick out. He is not in the slightest bit of a hurry.
It's Quilligan taking this kick out. Plays it long, and it's looking for Stephen Kelly. It's well won though by Oola, and Jack Downey in possession tries the switch play. It's going to be a foot race between Pat Ryan and Michael O'Leary. And so O'Leary, who's, again, we've mentioned it several times, a stunning performance at cornerback that completely nullified a very dangerous Oola full forward line. This one played up towards Sean Murphy. Murphy cuts inside with it, does well initially to get possession, but Tommy Hayes brings it away for Oola. And it's Hayes still in possession, but he can't get the ball up into his hands initially. Both sides bobbling around. Eventually going to come with Brian Nix, is it? Nix has it in his hands, and away come Newcastle West with Stephen Kelly. He's got Jamie Lee on his flank, and it's going to come to Jamie Lee. Lee now just looking to hold on to the ball, plays it all the way back to Dermot Kelly. In fact, that's Lee Wolfe in possession, not Dermot Kelly. And it's Seamus Hurley now for Newcastle West. Michael O'Leary and Mike McMahon. McMahon, of course, funneling back, making sure there's nothing happening around the edge of his own square. He's shown no interest in being up and around the Oola goals in the last 10 minutes or so. And Stephen Ryan looks to come away with this one for the East Limerick side. It's Fiach O'Grady and Darragh O'Donovan now. Matt, we've 64, nearly 65 minutes. We're in the final 40 seconds of this Limerick Senior Football Championship final. It's going to be another free for Oola, but we have to talk about Newcastle West some more. You know, it's been a dominating performance. We've mentioned it several times throughout commentary. We'll mention it again in a roundup when the game is over. But we're coming to the end of the game here, and all you can do is admire this performance.
All you can do is admire, stand back in awe. At times, it was an awesome performance. I think they took their foot off the pedal slightly over the last 5 minutes or so. And Ian Corbett has been named man of the match, and I don't think there's very few people would quibble with that. But Newcastle West are worthy champions, and there is no doubt that they kept the best wine for last this year in terms of the competition, because they went through the group stages. All right, they won 4 games out of the first 4. Never, I suppose, really hit the high spots, and I suppose there was a small little slight bit of doubt instilled as to their tag of favouritism, favourites for the competition when they lost to Oola in the final game of the group stages. Got a very, very stiff challenge from Ballysteen. They're now declared officially county champions, thanks to Johnny Murphy's final whistle. But they got a stiff challenge from Ballysteen, which on hindsight must have done them a power of good, and nobody can complain with the merit of their victory, first of all in the semi-final over champions and Adair, and certainly not today. This was we talked before the game. We were saying that we thought that the semi-final performance was probably their best for a number of years, and but I think that has been surpassed today, because they got on the front foot right from the start, and they set a pace early on that in normal circumstances is pretty hard to maintain. But by God, did they do it. And rarely at any stage during the game did Oola look like derailing Newcastle West's course to a fourth county title. Oola, you've got to feel sorry for them. It was their first time here in 40 years, 39 years. They had a smashing. They had a smashing campaign so far. Played 6 games, won all 6. Won some of them quite handsomely, and would have come here today with a certain amount of momentum and a certain amount of confidence. That they would have given a good account of themselves, and in many quarters. Many of the forecasts beforehand were actually tipping Oola that they may upset the odds. Personally, I was one that didn't think they would. I thought, but I did certainly think that it would be a much closer contest, because I have seen it and heard it firsthand. The amount of hurt that has been in Newcastle West at the manner in which they have exited the championship over the last 3 years. And I think there was a feeling in Newcastle West this year, it was in many ways a new look team. In that, some of the stalwarts of the past, Stephen Nix had retired, Paul Hannon, Cian Sheehan had gone abroad, and it's a young team. And what was very noticeable was, and I mentioned it in commentary, was that the substitutes they were bringing on are players with huge futures, as we know. Lee Wolfe, Dermot Kelly, Brian Nick's huge future in both codes in hurling and football. Now they will go on to play Nemo Rangers in the Munster Clubs Championship in 10 days or 2 weeks' time. And they will go on with a certain element of confidence. Now they will be travelling down to Cork to play them there, but that won't in the slightest. They will go with a spring in their step. They're worthy winners. Oola will go away. They will analyse what happened. It was a disappointing day for them. At no stage did they really get to the pace of the game. At no stage did they reach anywhere near the full potential which we had seen during the course of the campaign this year. And I think that more than anything will be what will disappoint Kim Downey, his management team and his players this evening. That on the big day, on the big stage, they didn't do themselves justice. And having fallen 4 points behind, hadn't Newcastle West indulged in some wayward shooting after that, it could even have been a more one-sided contest. But credit them. They kept going, they kept chipping away at the lead, and they fought the good fight to the end. But I'd say it's hands up in Oola. They were second best today. Congratulations to Newcastle West. Best of luck in the Munster Championship.
Yeah, it's victory for Newcastle West here in the Limerick Senior Football, the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship final on a scoreline of 111 to 8 points. A fantastic victory for Mike Willigan's side. That's all from us here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds this afternoon. Join us for more live action soon.
Thomas, captain. So, well done, Thomas.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to know good enough. But look, I don't want to forget anyone, but first of all, look, I'd like to thank start I suppose with the county board and all the officials for everything throughout the year. Look, I suppose it's not easy organising everything with ball codes and everything that goes on with the county and club. But just like to thank them anyway for running the competition well and like having the Gaelic grounds in good condition, obviously, this time of year. So thanks for that to the county board and all the officials. And next, I'd just like to thank Johnny and his officials for again. Look, it's not easy. It's not easy to be a referee, I suppose, but he does his best, I suppose, and he might get. Sometimes you might think he gets every decision right, but look, they do their best outside there in the day, and I'd like to thank them for turning up, having umpires, linesmen, all that, and doing the best they can. Thanks very much for that as well. Next, look, I'd like to thank Oola, look, for a good, tough, physical game. We were expecting nothing less. John, as I said already a couple of weeks ago, we played each other a couple of times now over the last couple of years, and it's never easy, like, and they're after doing unbelievable, like, obviously, to get to that final this year, you know. They didn't get out of the group last year, and to get to that final this year and represent themselves well, you know. I know they're going to come strong again next year, and, you know, I won't be looking forward to playing them again. So, look, thanks to Oola, and look, just before I move on, I want to give them 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Right, next, I suppose I'd like to thank our own club. Look, for everything, just every year. They're there no matter what we need. We get it, and they put in so much work, you know, on and off the pitch. Look, the club wouldn't be as good as it was without the committee we have and all the hard work that goes on in the background, especially Margaret there and all the help she gets. So I'd like to thank our own club for that as well. I suppose management's then. Look, this year again we had to prepare. It was a good campaign. Look, we had to prepare for 2 finals. I'd like to thank both sets of managements for especially being a jewel there for not burning us out not really burning us out anyway. Look, they juggled it as best as they could, you know. And I'd like to thank the hurling management and the football management for that. Said, look, the football management there again, we're back since the end of January, February, and again the work they put on and off the pitch to just keep coming back. Look, to my father there, Jonathan. Look, Jerome was a great coach. He came on. I think he just gave us a bit of spark that we need. We've Cosy there that was with both teams, and he was a massive help to us, especially the jewel players there. Again, and another part of the team there was like Margaret the leader. She was physio, was there for the whole year. I'd like to thank Margaret for all the work she put in. She could have done with 2 or 3 of herself. But Andy as well, look, he was with the goalies all year for the last 2 years, I suppose. And Pat Ian as well, that came in with us there towards the end of the year. He came in, he brought something very good to the team. And Lee Fitz for today. Thanks very much, Lee, for organising everything today. Look, the players, I suppose. Thanks, boys. Look, thank God we didn't have to wait another 26 years anyway. There's only 3 or 4 years this time, but 2015, look, it didn't go away. 2017, and thanks, look, for just sticking at it. The amount of work we put in, like, again, the same thing on and off the field, look, it's just brilliant, boys, and thank every one of you for that. And all, look, the wives, girlfriends, look, everyone for letting us go train and letting us do everything we need to do, you know. Thanks very much for that as well. Look, lastly, I'd like to remember people, look, that aren't here today, especially Mary Lee. I can't remember a championship match where Mary Lee hadn't been. Well, it wasn't that, I mean, sorry. And I'd like to dedicate this to Mary, okay?
Jimmy, well done.
Come on, buddy, come on! Yeah! Come on, Jorgen! Champion!